Peace, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to Soul Sessions. If this is your first time seeing me and you are new to my channel, welcome into Soul Sessions, where I basically do a lot of soul searching and I'm sharing my journey with you guys. I do a lot of healing, all natural remedies, but the basis of my channel is to use it basically as a diary and using it as a guide for myself as I continue on and grow along my journey. I'm sharing that with you guys, and you can use it as a guide for your own journey and take what you need. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm on there all the time, and you can stay up to date with me on my daily life. I have a lot of things I am going through in life right now, and I have this really important message I received from myself today that I want to share with you guys. I just really had it on my heart, and I just felt like it was very impactful for me, like self-realization, self-reflecting, a lot of that right now. I just was urged to share with you guys, so I hope that you enjoy. And also right with me, I have my smoky quartz. Why? If you guys have not seen my smoky quartz video, I did a video all about this, what it means to me. And I have not been away from it. Ever since I got this crystal, it's just been really freaking soothing to my soul, to say the least. So this is just going to stay with me as we talk, because I'm just all over the place with my thoughts. This message is all about self-reflection. What that means to me is kind of like going outside of yourself to look at yourself from a different perspective. I always deal with self-reflection. I always am able to look back on situations and look at myself in a new light, going through things, and just get new perspective and go through new experiences and learn more about myself and learn more about toxic habits I have, toxic things I've been taught that I didn't realize, I need to let go of, learning how to let go of and release things in order to grow and become greater as a person. So self-reflection is all about not so good stuff, what people call shadow work, diving deeper into the shadows, into the darkness of your soul, and learning how to find the light within that and grow within yourself and your experiences and your journey. Because that is the most important thing that I can do for myself, is grow. Always, continuously getting better and better, and knowing that I'm not perfect, knowing that I always have room for improvement, and just like learning more about who I am, which I'm always a new person. Like, I feel myself going through different chapters in my life. So I can look back years ago and remember how I felt, who I thought I was, what I knew, versus who I am now, what I've learned from then, growing, having more wisdom, becoming more mature, becoming more aware of self. And it's just like you're able to look at yourself, past self, present self, think about future self with different lenses and different perspective, with a new sight. I have been going through a lot, and maybe I will, maybe I won't share this part of my journey with you guys, but right now I felt the need to talk about self-reflection. And the biggest thing for me that I'm learning right now, and I have to remind myself, and hopefully it helps you guys along your journey, is a lot of the times when I'm dealt with obstacles in my life, I act off of my emotion first. So I'm very intuitive, I'm very sensitive to energy, and I am able to pick up on exactly how something made me feel. Now, I may not always understand mentally what I'm going through, mentally what something is doing to me, until I'm able to get out of that situation and come back to it and revisit it and see it in a new light. But I act a lot out of my emotion first. How did something make me feel? Oh, well, it made me feel this way. So if I'm dealing with somebody and there's an obstacle there, I expect that person to hear me and understand my feelings. And when they're not receptive or sensitive or sympathetic to those needs of mine, I take offense to that. I internalize and almost use this self-defense mechanism of, you hurt me and this is how I felt and you don't get it. And sometimes people may not really understand what they're doing to you because they're also internalizing and processing things just as you are, but in a different way. And you may not understand that. The most important thing is to understand self and be able to communicate those things that you're able to understand. The one thing I've realized as well is it doesn't matter how long you've been a certain way, and it also doesn't matter how long you've known somebody to be. You will always have to deal with communicating things, and that takes a lot of self-reflection and self-awareness. You need to know and be open to learning about yourself more. I'm learning about myself more than I ever have now, and I'm so grateful for it. But with that comes a lot of unpacking of trauma that you didn't know was there, that you didn't know that you are holding on to, that's coming into relationships or your own perception of things that you go through, and you're like projecting those things out, and that sometimes can hurt you, right? I'm trying not to be so hard on myself during times of trouble and these obstacles that I'm going through, but I have to understand I'm human, and I have to, go through what I go through, feel what I feel, but be able to revisit it and be open to be open to revisit things and look back and really self-reflect and check myself on things and say, you know what, I could have handled this better, I could have handled this differently, and prepare myself for the next thing that comes my way, so that I just don't keep hurting myself. I think the harder I am on myself, the more unaware I am and the more out of control I am of my own self, that will continue to hurt me if I don't allow myself to really dive into where the root of the problem is, where this is coming from for me. Because I've realized, and I've known this, and I've stressed this to you guys on my channel, I'm all about finding happiness within first, versus looking at things outside of you to provide that for you. But I'm not always good at that. I'm not always aware that I'm not allowing myself to do that, and I'm not giving to myself the way I need to give to myself. If I don't go through tough times and obstacles, I'm not able to learn and grow. Period. There's no more or no less. Without the dark in life that we all go through, that we all have to deal with inside of ourselves, you can't have the light within. You can't have the light to give to others either. So it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to have feelings. But I'm learning to step outside of those initial feelings I have and be able to step outside of things and try my best to see outside of that, so I can really see the bigger picture of what's happening. As of lately, I have this notebook and I have been going crazy just writing. So everything that I'm recording right now is the same thing I'll just be writing. And that's my outlet that's helping me really dissect things, because I'm able to see it on paper and look at it and read it over and over and revisit it when I'm in a new light. But as you're dealing with your emotions and your thoughts, and you can talk to as many people as you need to talk to, but it's important that you're able to self-reflect in whatever way you can do that, whatever outlet you need, whether it's writing or dancing or doing artwork or music, whatever it is that you need to do to clearly see things that are stuck in your head and get it out, express it, release it somehow. I really highly encourage that. It's been really beneficial for me, because let's say I wrote something 3 days ago I'll look back on it, read it, and it gives me new ideas because I'm able to process it differently. And I'm able to like self-reflect, and just dive deeper and deeper and deeper into self. And it's amazing, but I am not gonna lie, it is also scary, and it's also hurtful, and it's not so pretty. Self-reflecting and diving deeper into your own shadows of your own personal life is not the prettiest thing. If I'm too overwhelmed in my mind, there's too much to take on, I get very overwhelmed, my anxiety kicks up, and I cry. So my personal time, I've been writing, crying, reflecting, releasing, feeling my emotions, but really taking my time to be to myself. The biggest teacher is life itself. And you have to allow time to take its course, to heal, to understand, to process. Just allow yourself to feel, but understand that there's a lesson in everything. There's a teacher in every one that you come across in life, whether it's one thing they shared with you that helped you along your journey, or it's somebody that stays in your life for a long time. Everything has a lesson, and life itself is the best teacher. The very last thought I have for you guys before I end this video is allow yourself to feel your emotions, go through the motions, the good and the bad, but you have to keep pushing, and you have to keep moving, and you have to be willing to make a change. And that's the biggest lesson I am being taught right now, is I can get so caught up in my emotions and very overwhelmed, and I can go into a very dark place if I allow myself to stay there. But the key is to get out of that situation what you need to get, emotions included. Feel those things, go through it, because that's just a part of the process, and that's life. Like, you have to go through it, but be willing to make a change to like get past this chapter that you maybe keep revisiting. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's all I have to share, and I will most likely speak to you guys soon. I love you guys.